Korean style braised short ribs. This dish is easily in the top 10 of all time for me. Let me warn you though that this isn't a traditional recipe. I avoided the traditional braising of the dish on the stovetop in favor of oven braising the dish. I just find that oven braising creates more complex flavors versus the stovetop. I think the dry heat of the oven adds to creating those wonderful roasty bits that you can only get low and slow on the oven instead of the stovetop. Let me promise you that if you follow this video exactly as I laid it out, you will not be left disappointed. The night before you plan on making this dish, salt the meat. Salting the night before gives time for the salt to penetrate the meat. The salt will draw out water from the meat, mix with that water, then that salt water solution will get drawn back into the meat, seasoning the meat from inside, which is a big improvement from the surface level seasoning you would typically get if you were to salt it right before cooking. An hour before cooking, pull the meat out of your fridge to take the chill off. In a Dutch oven, on medium heat and a tablespoon of canola oil, brown 5 pounds of short ribs. Work in batches because we don't want to overcrowd the pan. Overcrowding will inhibit the browning we're after. Our goal here is to start building flavors, and those deep brown colors we see actually does equal flavor due to the Maillard reaction. Basically the chemical reaction that gives brown foods its distinctive flavor. Next, we're going to mince 25 cloves of garlic. Because of the very long cook time, how you mince your garlic doesn't matter too much. Feel free to use a grater, garlic press, or good old kitchen knife. I like cutting my garlic with a knife because cutting vegetables makes me feel like I know what I'm doing in the kitchen. This is Korean red pepper powder. It has a kick and it really makes the dish. Personally, I feel that if you're going to sub or omit this, you might as well make a different dish. This is Korean green plum syrup. Don't admit it and I wouldn't know what to substitute it with. In a Dutch oven with some oil, begin by sauteing all the garlic. You just want to stir it up around for 30 seconds until it's aromatic, and then add 2 teaspoons of grated ginger. Let that saute for a few seconds, again letting the ginger get aromatic while letting the garlic cook off a bit more. Add 1 cup of rice wine, 1/2 cup of the Korean green plum syrup, 3/4 cups of soy sauce, 1/3 of a cup of sugar. Stir the pot until well combined. Add back all the brown meat from earlier. It's gonna be a tight fit. Add 5 cups of water. Next, add anywhere between 3 to 10 tablespoons of Korean red pepper flakes. I used about 6 tablespoons. Next, place in a 375-degree oven with the lid slightly ajar and roast for 2 hours. These were some nice green chilies from the Asian market. They were labeled produce, so I don't know what they are, but I thought they should go well with this dish. After 2 hours, put back on the stove and bring it back to a boil. This is where we get to add in all our fixins that would have boiled away into nothing by now. Here I tossed in 1 cup of those Korean rice cakes, 2 chopped carrots, and 1 pound of peeled golden potatoes cut in half. Stir the pot around and try to get some of those submerged meats on top and push some of those veggies to the bottom. Then back in the oven for another hour. Finally, we add in the last ingredients to the stew to give it some freshness. I use an entire bunch of green onions cut into 2-inch segments and about 1/2 cup of those unidentified green chilies. Mix and cook for 2 minutes and you're ready to eat. I hope you give this dish a try, and if you enjoyed my video, please hit like and subscribe. Holy shit. That's amazing.